Well, hello there and welcome to this episode of the Terri Cole Show. And I want to start this video with a question. Are you someone who goes on vacation but is not actually on vacation? Are you checking your phone, or are you looking at your emails, or are you someone who comes back from vacation and feels like they weren't actually on a vacation? How many times have you said in your life, I need a vacation from my vacation? Well, if you're nodding your head yes, then this video is for you. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about why it's so hard to be away when we're supposedly away, whether it's a staycation or a vacation, and steps that you can take to be proactive, creating proactive boundaries, because that is really where it's at, so that you can, whatever time you do have off, you can actually enjoy it. So, before we get started, if you're new to this channel, please introduce yourself in the comments. We are a friendly group. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified when we roll out new videos every Tuesday and new interview videos every Thursday, because I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. And if you don't know me, if you're new here, my name is Terri Cole. I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I'm the author of Boundary Boss, which you can get at boundarybossbook.com. So I also want to say thank you for all of your comments and your questions in this channel. You know I love it, and I read every single solitary one, and I love to highlight them. So today I'm highlighting a comment from Annie Dash under the episode 8 Simple Mental Wellness Strategies for Everyday Life. This is an excellent list, Terri. I appreciate your wisdom so much and wish you a wonderful day. Well, Annie, thank you so much for wishing me a wonderful day and for being a part of my crew. I appreciate you. Let's move on to today's content. So why? Why is it so hard? I can tell you personally, my own personal experience of being a psychotherapist for 25 years, and I was a talent agent before that. I was trained to never actually be on vacation when I was on vacation. When you're a talent agent, there's always some important deal that's going down. So even if you're away, quote unquote, you're still reachable. That was the whole thing. I'm still reachable, which really means there's still that hypervigilance that you're experiencing so that you're reachable, right? You're never really off. You're never really off the grid. The advent of cell phones also changed everything. I mean, people didn't have this type of access to us. Back in the olden days, young people, right? They had to actually call your house. And if you weren't there, they just had to wait until you decided to call them back. I remember when getting answering machines, phone answering machines, old school, when that was a big deal, because at least then you knew who called. I mean, this is how old I am, people. But in reality, there was so much more expansion because there wasn't this expectation that people should have 24-hour access to you or your life. So being on vacation, what are the reasons why? At least for me personally, I worked on every vacation, only until the last 5 years, I would say, of my career did I not actually work on vacation. And that's really only because I hired people who were like, hi, you're off, get lost, like actually creating those boundaries for me, which is kind of amazing. So what are the reasons? Well, part of it is perfectionism, right? I was worried about whatever needed to get done when I wasn't there. Was it going to get done the way that I wanted it to get done, the way that I would do it? So there's that. High functioning codependency is also huge because that's where you're over functioning. That's where everything falls to you. That's where, in a way, when we're high functioning codependents, we kind of are micromanagers because we have ideas about the way everything should be done. And the fear is that if I'm not doing it, because again, in codependency in general, there is this sense of over-responsibility for all the things, right? What is Terri Cole's definition of being codependent and high-functioning codependency? Well, being codependent means you're overly invested in the feeling states, the outcomes, the decisions, the circumstances, the relationships of the people in your life to the detriment of your own internal peace or your financial, physical, or spiritual well-being. That is what I say the definition of codependency is. I added high-functioning codependency because the people who were in my crew, take my courses, in my therapy practice, in my mastermind, all those things, they're so incredibly capable that, yeah, they're doing all of those things and all the things they're supposed to be doing, but they make it look easy. So nobody really knows, or even I don't think would even identify so many of the women in particular who are high functioning codependents in my crew as codependent, because people are dependent on them, right? So that's also the myths and misunderstandings that there are out there about what codependency means, right? Back in the day, we used to think about it like, oh, Melody Beatty, codependent no more, you have to be involved with an addict. That's not all there is. There are high functioning codependent behaviors and behavioral patterns, and this is definitely one of them. I believed in my own deluded mind that I could be on vacation, doing my thing, and also be having therapy sessions with clients from wherever I was. Now, I wouldn't do that with everyone, but there were certain ones that if I knew they were going to be very upset that I was away, of course, all of that is codependency because it's not about whether they're going to be very upset. It's going to be have good boundaries and how am I going to feel if I'm on vacation, but I'm actually not on vacation. And how I felt was exhausted, resentful, all of the things you don't want to feel. And I don't want that for you. So what are the other reasons that we work when we're on vacation? Well, we feel like we have to. Maybe solopreneur, we're so afraid to not be active. Like there's a lot of fear, right? We have fear of failure. We also have fear of success, you guys. So there's both, right? And what do I like to say? That fear of failure, fear of success, they're two sides of the same coin. And the coin is fear of change. So we get into a groove, especially if we work a lot. We get into that groove, like head down, get it done, get it done. But the bottom line is that you're not doing your best work if that's what you're doing. There's no possible way, if you don't ever take a break, really, to fill up your own bucket. You're definitely not doing your best work. You're not. There's no space for creativity. There's no room to just be, right? Your imagination, your creativity, even writing, all of those things, as my friend Chris Carr told me years ago when I was having a full-time practice, one-on-one practice as a therapist. I had a ridiculous number of clients, and I had just taken one more client on after I've been saying to her for like 4 years that I was going to be winding down my practice so that I could build my platform. And this was, 15 years ago, whatever it was, a long time. And she was like, Terri, you just took on a new client. You just think you want to have a public platform. She's like, but the fact that why did you just take on a new client? That is a scarcity mindset. She's like, you think creativity is like a button that you can just, like a lever that you can just flip on and off. It's not. You have to change your life so that you're able to do the things that you want to do. Anyway, long way around the barn to get back to, if you are not allowing yourself to have that expansion that I eventually created in my business by winding down the one-on-one practice and having space to create things like writing a book, she was 100% right. But she basically, as a good friend would, was calling out the fact that my behavior and the choices I was making was not at all aligned with what I said my goal was, right? And of course, fear was a huge part of that. I didn't want to leave the thing I was super masterful at, being a one-on-one psychotherapist, to go into the thing that I didn't know that I would be masterful at, more public-facing life and work. And obviously that was a long time ago because here we are. Here you are. Here's me facing you. You are the public watching this video, listening to this podcast. So let's talk about how you can make the shift to whether it's a vacation or a staycation. Because here's the thing, those blurred boundaries between work and time off, even just, I've done blogs on this, you guys, because you've asked me to, on having the delineation. We need to make the distinction between when our workday ends and our real life begins, even when you have a personal brand, right? There still has to be the separation between your actual life and your work life. Because if not, both things it's bad for both. It's bad for your health, but it's also bad for your relationships. So in order to fully relax when you're on any kind of vacation, any kind of time off, it's all about boundaries. I would say this is going to be the most important thing, is that you get proactive. So let's talk about the proactive things that you can do. Well, how about have an away message for your email? That was a game changer for me X number of years ago. that says, hey, gone fishing. I actually had an away message the whole time I was writing Boundary Boss that was like, I'm in a writing cave. Don't expect me to get back to you soon. And it's such a relief. So I'm away until from this date to this date, and I will return all emails by this date, right? So people know that. Also do an away message on your phone, right? Stay off your phone. Even when you're on vacation, use your phone if you want to use it for your camera, but stay off it. Do not be texting people. Have it in airplane mode so it doesn't work, or just use the camera. Let others know that you're going to be off the grid and that you'll be in touch when you get back. Even if you're close with your family, it's not necessary to talk to them if you're going to be away for 5 days or for a week, right? I mean, if you have little kids, okay, fine. But if you're a grown-up, it isn't necessary. And the thing is, it intrudes. It takes bandwidth. It's requiring you to think of others, while what you really need to be doing on vacation is to be present. Your ability to be here now is what makes the vacation something that's actually going to fill you up, that's going to be nourishing, is to do whatever it is you want to do and plan a vacation that feels good, right? Like, don't go with only what other people want to do. If you want a vacation that you don't do a lot of things, make that plan. When my husband and I were planning our honeymoon, he was like, oh, do you want to go to Europe? Do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? And I was like, I don't want to go anywhere where I feel required to go to a museum or a church or a temple or any ancient anything. And if we go to Europe, I'm gonna want to see those things. So we actually planned a spa hopping trip up the coast of California, of Pacific Coast Highway 1, which was absolutely beautiful. We loved it, and there was nothing to do but eat and get massages and be together, which is what the whole point was. And of course, we took hikes and did things that we liked to do together, but I didn't want to feel obligated to see like historical sites on my honeymoon. To me, that was not, I just wanted to be able to focus on my husband, focus on myself. Anyway, that is what I'm talking about. Make a plan that is aligned with what you're hoping to gain. How you want to feel. What is it that you are looking for on this vacation? And make a plan or negotiate. If you are traveling with someone else, negotiate, but make sure that you get your needs met. And all of the proactive boundaries that you're going to put in place, it's all about communication. It's all about talking true. So the away message on your phone, the away message on your email, let other people know that you're off the grid. Social media. My feeling is it's fine to be like, hey, even if your business, there's a lot of stuff that goes on for social media. You have two choices. You can either have a thing that says, hey, I'm taking time off. Enjoy the week. I'll see you when I get back. Don't feel compelled. If it's a lifestyle brand and you want to share from your vacation, that's your choice. For some people, that is invigorating. That is energizing. That's enlivening. And for me, it sometimes is and sometimes isn't. If I feel inspired and I want to create a reel or go live, I want the freedom to do that, but I don't want to be required to do that. You can also pre-plan your social media, obviously, if you have the type of business that I have. And so, people won't even necessarily know that you're away. But think of all of those things because it's so important to actually be away when you're away. Like, there is no mindless checking of your email. You have your away message there when you are away. And then I always would give someone, Joyce, my right-hand person, if I was somewhere, she would know how to get in touch with me. If it was an emergency, it's not like I'm not going to be available for an emergency, obviously. So you can also do that, and get outside. Hopefully you're planning a vacation that you're outside in nature, getting your feet in the grass or in the dirt, because it is so good for you to be soaking that up. You may not be able to get to do that in your regular life as much. And the things that are relaxing and fun for you. So do those things, plan to do those things. But the key, whether it's a staycation or whether it's a vacation, to enjoying your time is to truly unplug from the work of your day-to-day life, right? Bring this mindset with you that you're going to do the things that fill up your bucket, which is relax, that give yourself permission to be disconnected from the rest of the world and just present where you actually are. And that may mean bringing your journal. That may mean meditating early. I mean, on my honeymoon with my husband, we were up every day at 6 a.m. A lot of the places we went to were yoga meditation type places, even though there were spas as well, because we love that stuff, not because we felt obligated to do that stuff. So it's really about what fills you up. But be committed to having a relaxed mindset. If you're someone who never allows yourself to take a nap, allow yourself to do that. Doing nothing many, many times, you guys, I've said this before, I'll say it again, is really, really doing something. So I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope you have a beautiful staycation, vacation, even if you just do this for a weekend. Get away from all the tech. Unplug. Be present in your one and only amazing life. So thank you for spending time with me. I hope you have an amazing week. And as always, take care of you.